Failure. It's a word that makes most people flinch. Not because the fall hurts, but because the meaning we attach to it can feel unbearable. The Stoics, however, looked at failure differently. To them, failure wasn't an identity. It was an event, a moment, a mirror, and more importantly, a teacher. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, journaled his own failures, not to wallow in them, but to reflect and correct. He reminded himself daily that mistakes would happen. People would betray, plans would fall apart, and still life would go on. The true failure, he wrote, is not in falling, but in refusing to get back up with wisdom. That's the Stoic foundation. You are not your failure. You are your response to it. The first principle of the Stoic way to handle failure is self-observation without self-punishment. When you fail, don't rush to label yourself. Don't collapse into shame or spiral into overthinking. Instead, pause. See it clearly. What actually happened? What part was in your control and what part wasn't? Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." That friction, your failure, is where growth begins, but only if you observe it without judgment. Think like a philosopher, not a critic. The second principle is detachment from outcome. You can control your effort. You can control your values. But you cannot guarantee success every time. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control. Epictetus taught his students to focus on their choices, their character, their discipline, not the external results. If the project failed, but your work was honest, you did not fail. If the speech bombed, but you spoke with courage, you did not fail. You may have lost the result, but you won the inner game. That's the game the Stoics play, because in the long run, outcomes fade, but character remains. Now, here's the third principle: action over rumination. Failure loves to breed paralysis. We relive the mistake, analyze every angle, and freeze. But the Stoic moves forward. Not blindly, but deliberately. You reflect, you extract the lesson, and you take the next right step. No dramatic declarations, no wallowing, just motion, because every failure already happened. What matters now is what you do next. You don't overcome it by waiting. You overcome it by walking. But what about the sting? What about the hit to your ego, your identity? This is where the fourth principle enters: ego dissolution. You are not entitled to win. You are not exempt from falling. The Stoics remind us that we are temporary, fragile beings in a world we don't fully control. That humility doesn't make us weak. It makes us resilient. Once you stop needing success to feel worthy, you free yourself from fear. Once you let go of your pride, failure loses its fangs. You can breathe again. You can learn. At the midpoint of this journey, I want to invite you to pause. If this message has helped reframe failure for you, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support allows this content to reach those who need it, and it keeps you anchored to the path of calm strength. Now back to it. The fifth Stoic response to failure is voluntary hardship. Don't just endure difficulty, choose it, practice it. When things go wrong, don't shrink. Step forward. Ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this pain? How can I become stronger through this obstacle? The Stoics didn't wait for hardship to train resilience. They simulated it. They slept on the floor. They fasted. They imagined losing everything, not because they were pessimists, but because they knew comfort breeds weakness. Voluntary discomfort strengthens the will. It reminds you that you can endure more than you think. So when failure comes, and it will, you won't collapse. You'll be ready, because you trained for this moment. The sixth principle is redefining success itself. Most people define success as recognition, wealth, applause. The Stoic defines it differently. Did I act with integrity? Did I uphold my values? Did I keep moving forward? Success is measured not by public opinion, but by private discipline. Imagine a soldier who stands his ground while the rest retreat. He may lose the battle, but he wins in character. That's the Stoic victory. And the seventh principle, perhaps the most powerful, is acceptance. Not passive resignation, but active embrace. Amor fati, love of fate. To say, this too is ginkipain. This failure, this pain, this setback. I will not resist it. I will use it. I will integrate it into who I am becoming. This mindset is not easy, but it is liberating. Because once you stop fighting reality, you reclaim your energy. You rise from the ashes, not just repaired, but reborn. Your scars are not shameful. They are sacred. They prove you tried. They prove you showed up. They prove you are still here. You will fail. That's not a curse, it's a guarantee. But what you do next is what will define your life. Will you let failure harden you into bitterness or shape you into resilience? Will you retreat into fear or rise into wisdom? The Stoic doesn't pretend failure is fun. They just refuse to let it break their spirit. So remember, the next time you fall short, you are standing in the presence of power. Power to grow, power to choose, power to rise. You are not defined by your worst day. You are revealed by how you respond to it. And if you ever forget, return to these principles. Observe, detach, act, dissolve the ego, embrace hardship, redefine success, accept everything. Not because it's easy, but because it's true. This is the Stoic way to handle failure. And it just might be the way you become unstoppable. Every time you stumble, you have a choice. To fall into despair, or to rise into discipline. To let the world tell you what failure means, or to define it on your own terms. The Stoics chose the latter, and so can you. Failure doesn't mean you're unworthy. It means you dared. It means you tried something bold. It means you reached beyond comfort. And the price of reaching is falling sometimes, but it's still worth it. The Stoic doesn't say, I failed. The Stoic says, I am learning. You see, nothing in nature blooms without breaking first. The seed breaks, the wave crashes, the night shatters into dawn, and yet we fear our own breaking. But why? Isn't that where the light enters? Failure is the invitation to evolve, and only the disciplined hear it as a call, not a curse. So tomorrow or next week, when something doesn't go your way, when the outcome slips through your fingers, when the plan collapses, when the door slams shut, remember this moment. Remember that you are not broken. You are being reshaped. Let the disappointment come. Feel it. But don't stop there. Stand up. Clean your mind. Breathe in, straighten your spine, and step forward. Not because everything is fixed, but because you are fixing yourself in motion. That's what Stoicism is, not a philosophy of retreat, but a discipline of response. Fail forward, rise quietly, and become stronger than before. Let this be your final reminder. You are not here to live an unscarred life. You are here to live a meaningful one. If you get it right the first time, you don't grow. But if you fall and rise again with a clearer mind, a steadier heart, and a deeper courage, then failure becomes your training ground. Don't wait to be fearless. Act with fear, but don't let fear make your choices. Don't wait to be perfect. Begin with what you have. Begin with who you are. Begin again. The Stoic warrior is not the one who never fails. It's the one who never lets failure have the last word. So start your day with this truth. No failure can steal your virtue. No defeat can erase your discipline. And no mistake can stop your will, unless you allow it. This is how you reclaim your strength. One decision at a time. Step by step. Fall by fall. Rise by rise. The Stoic way. And you are ready for it. Remember, failure does not mean the journey is over. It simply means the next chapter requires a stronger version of you. Use what didn't work as fuel. Use what hurt as instruction, and use every fall as a reminder that progress is not linear. It's forged in fire, and you were built to rise through it. So go. Carry your discipline with you. Let your scars remind you not of what you lost, but of what you learned. That's not just resilience. That's the Stoic way. You are still becoming. Every failure was never meant to end you. It was meant to educate you, to strip away illusion, to expose what truly matters, to wake you up from comfort. You don't need approval to rise again. You don't need applause to keep walking. You need one thing only: commitment to your path. A Stoic path, where progress is not always visible but always real, where strength is not loud but unshakable. Let the world misunderstand you. Let the critics speak. You have something more important to listen to: your inner compass, the quiet voice that says, keep going. Failure didn't break you. It built you, and the next time it comes, you'll smile, not because it's easy, but because you are no longer afraid. That is the freedom discipline gives you. That is the wisdom Stoicism offers you. And that is the strength you carry now. Forward. Because failure was never your enemy. It was your initiation. Into maturity, into mastery, into meaning. You've seen what doesn't work. Now you know how to build what does. Go forward with calm in your breath and courage in your spine. This is not your ending. This is your edge. The edge where strong minds are made. You're ready. Let's begin again.